What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I'm feeling like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Weisz.
Dr. Jeremy Weisz here. I am the founder and host of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Today is no different. And this is a special episode. I am actually interviewing founders and CEOs live at the Sweets and Snacks Show. And so check it out. We have some amazing companies featured. Check this episode out. And before I get to that, this episode is brought to you by Rise 25. At Rise 25, we help businesses give to and connect to their dream 100 relationships. How do we do that? We help you run your podcast. We are an easy button for an organization or business to launch and run your podcast. I've been podcasting for over a decade now. You know, for me, the number one thing in my life is relationships. I'm always looking at ways to give to my best relationships. And I found no better way to do that than to profile the people and the companies I most admire, feature them on my podcast, and shout from the rooftops what they're working on and what they're doing. So if you've thought about starting a podcast, you should. If you have questions, you can go to rise25.com or email us support@rise25.com to learn more. Now, check out today's episode. Live from the Sweet and Snack Show. Jeremy Weisz here. We're live from the Sweets and Snack Show. I'm here with Brian of The Only Bean. And Brian, talk about your company and some of the products.
Yeah, so we started our company about 4 years ago. We're based in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we call ourselves The Only Bean because we're a bean-based food company. So we focus on using beans as our core ingredients to create innovative food products. Our first line of products was actually pasta made 100% from beans. And then what we're showcasing today is our line of snacks. We have a crunchy roasted edamame beans. They're available in sea salt, sriracha, and buffalo. We launched this on Amazon about a year ago. So we're actually a bestseller on Amazon. And then today what we're trying to do is grow into retail stores and reach out to distributors and brokers and things like that.
So how did you choose these flavors?
So we actually, sea salt was an obvious flavor to start off with, and then we kind of did research online to look at keywords and see what's trending and what flavors people are looking for. And then we also had to balance that out with what actually goes well with an edamame bean. And surprisingly, I mean, sriracha and sea salt was obvious, but buffalo was a surprise to us. That actually tasted really good. And then we are working on a few new flavors as well. Wasabi soy sauce will be one of those.
Oh, sign me up for that. I interviewed a guy, Sriracha to Go, and they were just containers. Where who knew how popular this was, that the people could just clip on. So talk about, why did you start this company?
So my wife my father-in-law is actually a food scientist. So she kind of grew up seeing all the different innovations that he would come home and ask them to try. Like, what do you think of this new bar? He worked at Kellogg's, so he developed a lot of the Special K bar, all the bars that they have. So she's always been intrigued. And then I'm an entrepreneur, so I have a few businesses before this one. And one day, they're retired. So one day, one of her uncles came to the house, and he's also a food scientist, so he kind of showed us the product. And he's like, do you guys think you could sell this? And we thought it was an amazing product. It was pasta made 100% from beans. So we tried it, did some market research, and said, hey, this is a great product, and we really need to get it to market. And that's kind of how we all started The Only Bean.
And so, like something like that, people who have gluten intolerances, or especially for pasta or snacks, I imagine that fits a need there.
Yes, definitely. So our products are gluten-free, vegan, non-GMO. Our pasta's organic. Our snacks are non-GMO project verified. It's also kosher, keto-friendly, low carb. So basically,
they check all the boxes.
Yeah, it checks all the boxes.
So Brian, what other businesses did you have?
So previous to this, I was an Amazon seller. So I was working with factories all over the world and sourcing and then private labeling, and also creating my own products as well. So I come from an e-commerce background.
In the food space, or?
No, I actually sold coffee and tea accessories. So things to make like cold brew coffee, like specialty coffee products. And then the food space is kind of new, but we started e-commerce first, so it kind of made sense to us, and then grew into distribution.
So where can people check out and learn more? Website on Amazon, where should they go?
Yeah, so amazon.com/theonlybean. You can also go to theonlybean.com, or we're also on walmart.com as well.
All right, I'm looking forward to the soy wasabi.
Yes.
The Only Bean. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. I'm feeling like 100 grand.